Welcome back, everybody, to the Leaders Talk Podcast, where I'm your host, Jacob Pino, and I interview leaders from every industry, from athletes to CEOs to pastors to coaches to the people that you admire most, to uncover their stories. That way you could take a piece of everybody's success and apply it to your own. So if that sounds like something you like, subscribe and stick along. But today I have a very interesting episode. Not only is he a staple in the community, not only has he coached dozens pro athletes, All-Americans, even all the way from Pee-wees, everything, but is a great leader, that's why he's sitting down here. But it's my honor to interview GOLDFEET Joe, or Coach Joe. So I usually start off with the most important questions out the gate.
Okay.
Coke or Pepsi?
It's a tough one. I'm not even a big soda person. I'll go Pepsi.
Pepsi? That's good. A lot of people say Coke is for old heads. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right. So then the follow-up I always have is McDonald's or Burger King.
I feel like it's different for different things. I like Burger King burgers, McDonald's fries.
Sure. I like the McFlurries from, not the McFlurries, the Oreo shakes from Burger King.
Yeah, they be fine. I ain't gonna lie, Burger King for McFlurry? I ain't never
No,
tried that
they
one.
have a better one because it gives you chunks. The McDonald's, they blend it up too much, or it's like
Yeah.
little pieces. So.
You about to put me on. I'm about to go try that.
That's good. It's really good.
I'm about to try that.
But, so talk to me a little bit about how'd you get it started with this coaching?
With coaching and training. So it's crazy because I feel like even when I was in college, like being an athlete, I was always like a leader and like I never even was thinking about coaching or doing all that type of stuff, but I was always that type of player. Like I understood like if you want to have a good team around you, bro, it's more than you just being a great player. You got to be able to lead and being to help your teammates around you get better as well. So I just feel like I've been doing that my whole life and really like especially later on in college.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got out of college, once I had stopped playing football, like I had a coach from Little League, Coach Norman, that was with me coaching as well. So he just introduced it to me. He gave me some of my first training equipment and all that stuff. And I just like helping kids, man, wanting to come give back. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think one of my first kids was Brian Deuce Blades. You know what I'm saying? He might have been in middle school, like 7th grade.
Yeah.
So time is flying, bro. Kid's about to be a sophomore, junior in college right now. So time is definitely moving.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's when I started. That's 2016. I graduated in 2016.
And did you started coaching with GOLDFEET, or that was personally, and then you migrated?
So in the beginning, at first, I would just start off as coaching. Like I was helping out at St. Thomas, and I'll go train kids from my old part that I grew up playing for, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. So I'll go Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, St. Thomas, and then just started mixing up with all different types of kids. Everybody started noticing the worth.
What type of athlete were you in college?
I would play DB.
In terms of like would you consider yourself a leader?
Yeah, for sure. Always. Yeah, I just naturally came into me.
The qualities that you think are important?
I just feel like accountability, you know what I'm saying, and just actually like walking how you talking. You know what I'm saying? Not just talking about something, not actually being that type of person, but like the way you move and you actually like implement that and telling others and holding other people accountable too. And they can see that, well, you ain't just telling them that you actually living that way too. And especially like when you feel like you're a humble person and you don't feel like you're too big for everybody, because I've always been big on because I've always been talented, but I've always also been big on like never being too talented to feel like you can't converse or communicate with other people that are not on your level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I do a good job with just trying to bring everybody else, staying sane.
Do you think you, on the contrary to that, do you think you ever had an experience where you got ahead of yourself?
Not really, man. I had some really good where it could have probably happened. I feel like God slowed me down. Like I was really starting to feel and smell myself like leading from probably getting right out of middle school, because I was a really big kid growing up, but I was not just big, I was also really athletic.
Yeah.
So it was like showing that like, bro, this is when it be starting to get really crazy. And I broke my shoulder going into 8th grade. And to be honest, that's probably the last time I've been the same height since then too. So everything just kind of like ceased.
Yeah.
But I mean, my athleticism still in the brain still took over, but definitely had to adjust into the doubt. I feel like that was God's way of be like, yeah, I can't let you get too big. But it be over with.
Yeah. What was going back a little bit, what was your childhood like?
So I grew up in on the east side of town, neighborhood called Parkway. A little rough. I have a really big family. Got 34 aunties and uncles.
34?
Yeah, my mom at 18, 7 my dad got 15.
Wow.
Huge family.
That is
huge.
That is bigger than huge.
Huge family. Really spiritual. So we grew up in just church, school, home.
Yeah.
Was really strict.
Do you think that growing up in that in like a spiritual household helped you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Oh,
because that's my base at the end of the day.
how did
Everything
it help
stems
you?
back to that. I feel like I'm nothing. Nothing starts without God. Like
Yeah.
you got to have that as your solid foundation. Like you have to have something over you that you look up
Yeah.
to. You know what I'm saying? So
I
even if
know.
you feel like he's not there all the time, I just feel like he just guides us through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know. TA, like I said off camera, he used to always say, "Walk by faith, not by sight." What
Yeah,
do you
right,
think?
right, right, right.
What does that mean to you?
Uh, in my mind, it's just I feel like you're not gonna be able to see everything that you think that you wanna. That's gonna bring faith. Like you have to actually have faith. And a lot of times, sometimes you have to go through your own experiences to be able to like go through something that may seem like it's gonna be tough, and it's like, dang, like I don't know how I'm finna get through this, and God just makes a way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that
Yeah.
just builds your faith, and I feel like a lot of people, man, they have the mindset of it's like, man, why I'm going through this, why I'm going through, why I'm going, like, bro, it's like, but why you not going through that? At the end of the day, bro, like, I feel like the higher level you go, the bigger perspective get is like, bro, God allow us all to go through something for a reason. It's just our mindset. A lot of times we don't look at it, we think it's personal. You know, realize a lot of stuff that we go through be for us to help somebody else that maybe later on down the road.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not you? You only gonna get better from that. And I just think it goes back down to even with our training, like, and that's why we're so different, bro. It's uncomfortable. Like we don't just reaching for like comfort all the time.
Yeah.
Like we went to a coaching convention with Mike Tomlin a while ago, and he was like, I mean, we always thought this way anyway, but I think that was confirmation. You know what I'm saying? Like even his family, he was saying like, we want to stay away from comfort,
Yeah.
because comfort is the fastest way to like be at a standstill. Like, but
Yeah.
when you put people around comfortable situations and new experiences and stuff like that,
Mm.
I mean, yeah, it may be foreign and uncomfortable at the beginning, but you're growing. You know what I'm saying? That's your best way to learn and
Yeah.
grow.
And how do you take athletes outside of their comfort zone?
You got to know them. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like you got the genuine. Everyone is different. You can't go in there. It's not a cookie cutter system. It's like you got to genuinely like figure out what pushes this person. Where's their base? Like what makes them tick? Like I know a lot of days. Well, these days it's a lot of NIL deals and money in college. But like I got a lot of kids making a lot of money in college, and like I tell them, say, when we first started playing Pee Wee football, you know nothing about no NIL deals. So why is that the go to the motivation now? Keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
Can't get sidetracked.
Yeah. Kind of fast forwarding, you
Mhm.
joined GOLDFEET around what year?
17. So I mean, we was all kind of connected in the
Yeah.
beginning, but it's just I never was really too big on titles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We always been kind of working together. We went to high
Yeah.
school and played ball together.
Yeah.
But
What is,
just 2017, 16.
when you think of the name, or when you see the brand, when you
Mhm.
see the logo, what does it mean to you, GOLDFEET?
I just think, man, you can't spell gold without God. Like we just put God in front of everything, and like gold is number one. You know what I'm saying when it comes to the
Yeah.
materialistic way of things. So I just feel like, man, we just try to put gold and God in everything that we
Yeah.
do.
And holding yourself to a standard,
The
like you
standard,
said,
yeah,
gold,
gold,
the
number
top.
one, top, real top.
What do you think has differentiated you guys from other trainers?
The thing to going back to, man, the discomfort and the comfort stuff and putting people in uncomfortable situations, is relationships. Like genuinely trying to just get to know people.
Yeah.
Like, cause everybody gonna learn different, but if you don't know how somebody learn, you can't teach them anything.
How do you think you, not only for sports, but how do you think you genuinely figure someone out and get to know them better?
I mean, you gotta be able to ask them questions, and it goes down to this too, like just your perspective, like not being selfish enough and being selfless that you could like actually put yourself in other people's shoes and see their perspective and see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's really the best way to get to learn someone.
Yeah. Yeah. You train dozens of professional athletes,
Mm-hmm.
literally. I don't think there's a number you can put. Well, there probably is if you wanted to count, but there's dozens, hundreds
Yeah,
of athletes that you guys
definitely
train.
hundreds.
What has separated some of the guys that made it to a pro and balling out in the pro
Mm-hmm.
versus those that weren't able to make it to the pro?
Mentality and perspective, being able to push through adversity. I feel like that's a lot of why I feel like a lot of South Florida people like survive and flourish in the NFL now. It's just because like we grew up in a lot of adversity. So it's like about time we get to that level of 22, 23 years old, it's not adversity no more. You know what I'm saying? So in that level, you gotta remember they're gonna be testing you all the time too. It's not all about sports. It's about who's mentally the strongest, who can stay the most poised when there's a lot of stuff going on around you, family life, personal life, all that type of stuff. Who can stay locked in? Because I ain't gonna lie, bro. At that level, bro, especially at the highest level, it ain't like you finna go to school. Your whole life is football.
Football, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could be done with practice 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Are you disciplined enough with your free will to be sane and, you know what I'm saying, to get through the rest of the day so you can stay locked in for the next day? Because that's your job at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I really just think it's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to hold yourself accountable, having a good support system.
Yeah. Do you think, out of curiosity, do you think that someone that isn't the most skillful but still works as hard can get to that level?
Definitely.
Why?
Just mindset, man. I mean, we'll be doing this for a while too. Like, you can develop skill. Especially if you have like the mindset and you doing things with intent and being intentional with everything that you're doing, you can develop it for sure. Get to where you want to be.
What's the
I feel like that lasts as longer anyways because you learn more through that process. It's always got to go through a process to learn, bro. If you get it too fast, you're going to lose it fast. Oh, man.
Have you had an experience like that, like an athlete that you saw got it too fast, got the offers too fast, got the clout, the media too fast, that they got ahead of themselves and stopped?
So I was just more saying, like, I feel like it's literally football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When kids are starting to get offer and hype. And it's just, rest of our environment too, man. We really glorify that stuff, like the gambling and treating kids like adults because there's so much funds and stuff on the games, like where you make kids kind of grow up too fast, and then you try to slow them down. It's like, nah, man, you the one that's built that kid to be that way, especially like the adults. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, sometimes it's tough, especially when the kid think they're really, really good in 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and it's like, bro, you ain't even played no competition yet, bro. You on this 50 states out here.
Yeah.
You playing against this little league football. I'm like, bro, you never know how this thing gonna continue to go.
Yeah.
Man, I'm the biggest example, to be honest with you, bro. I stopped growing in 7th, 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, you never know if you gonna keep growing or keep somebody that may be way smaller may grow bigger than you. So it's all about just staying grounded, man, and keep pushing through. And can't believe the hype, man, especially while you're in high school, cause you don't have a real evaluation yet.
So what's having a chip? Like something, because I was gonna ask you, there's like sometimes a trend that, like how you said, a lot of athletes.
I see the opposite. I get what you're saying. So you go talking about the opposite of those type of kids, the kids that don't have it.
I think the same. Like, let's say kids that are super good, they eighth, ninth grade, they start getting hype. They get the stars, they get the offers. Go into college, and all that hype kind of like you never hear about them again.
Right.
I mean, how does someone not fall a victim to
that? Staying around good competition. I feel like a lot of that has to do with like they were probably hyped up and they were probably one of the best players on their team all the time and weren't with other good people around them and they weren't used to competition, or you just stopped working. Like the biggest thing, bro, you gotta have people around you that's gonna hold you accountable, bro. It don't matter who you are. I remember Sam Madison used to coach me and train me a little bit in college. He used to be like, bro, I'm in year 12, year 13, bro, and I gotta still continuously get better. No matter who you are, like if you stop, you ever think you made it, all right. But God will show you that you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys always got to keep working, man. Stay down. And remember what you're doing it for and who you're doing it for.
Yeah.
And everything is just for about you.
Yeah. What do you think is the best advice that you could give? So not only in the athletic world, but somebody outside, somebody that's chasing the dreams, somebody that just started their business, some coach that's just gotten a job. What's your advice to that person?
I mean, really, really, really try to get to know yourself, man, and really just start off with God, like, because I mean, you could start off and you could know yourself, but God, I feel like God will guide you, and He'll have the most like impact for you, because a lot of dreams and aspirations you have for yourself, man, a lot of times that stuff be small, and God has something way even bigger for you. So I just feel like it just goes down to just taking the step, take the first step, and I feel like God will always meet you halfway. You know what I'm saying? So just reach out there a little bit, just try something. Whatever you say you think you want to do it, go out there and aim for it, and meet you halfway, and just keep moving and keep going up those steps.
And what's the best advice you received?
I've received, it's crazy. You're talking about Smith, probably from Coach Smith back in the high school.
Coach Smith?
Yeah, just talking about the little things, man, the details, like not skipping over the little thing, man. If you master small wins and you try to get the little things each and every day, they'll eventually you look back and bro, you came a long way. So you just can't skip over nothing, man. Everything that you do, be intentional. You know what I'm saying? Have some purpose behind it and try to gain something from everything that you do.
Yeah. And I think, kind of to conclude it, to put the tie on the box, creating a present, we're going to put a little bow on it.
Okay.
And we talked a little bit off camera about that if you're not in it, you don't understand it.
Right,
type
right,
of thing,
right.
That is deeper than just training. It's deeper than just a couple drills, a couple
Mhm.
cones, right? There's a lot more than that. It's the leadership. It's the training the young person to become a leader.
Mhm.
But how do you think an athlete that comes out here, can stay by that program and actually manifest into that person that you're training them to become? Does it just come with like buying into a program, just keep coming in every day, or what is it?
Yeah, yeah, you want to stay consistent, stay true, but it's also just like you said. I mean, we do a good job of holding people accountable, but just being genuine and honest with us and being genuine and honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? About just through the process, because it's like, even if we like say we don't know something about a certain scenario or situation, we probably have a connection that does. So it's just always just about like just being open and honest, because I just feel like there's nothing no one ever goes through that you feel like, man, that's just you went through that by yourself. Man, we're on this earth to help each other. You know what I'm saying? So man, we should never feel like we're in something that's so uncomfortable with that you just losing that bad, like where you can't say nothing. I just feel like we're here for people all the time,
Like
on the
that.
mental aspect,
Genuine.
genuine, for real,
Sure.
and they know that. They know that for sure.
That's why, but if you're not in it,
You ain't gonna know.
that's why you gotta get in it.
Yeah, so you can
But
feel it.
that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys so much. If you guys made it to the end, feel free to check out other videos. Feel free to check out, I'm gonna link your Instagram.
Okay.
Check out the GOLDFEET Global. Completely goated at training, and like we said, it's a
sir.
lot deeper than what's on the field. It's a lot deeper than just the cones, the football, a lot of other stuff. And if you're not in it, I can understand it. But thank you so much for making it to the end. Anything you want to leave off on?
And keep God first and just make sure you're being intentional. Hold yourself accountable. Stay around some good people, man. Love on each other. Let's keep going.
That's
Keep
what it's
pushing.
about.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so
Major
much for
love.
making it to the end. See you guys on the next one.